Jack, are you frozen? Sam, are you there? Yeah, Jack, are you frozen? Sam, are you there? Yeah, Jack, are you frozen? Sam, are you there? What are we even doing here?
Yo, Wi-Fi flagging, but they holding it down. How about them J-era Maz ballers running Beantown? They say these guys are ridiculous, yet probably true. Like the 23 Celtics, they got a deep crew. Pregame Papa trying to make some bank. Professor Pete repping Latvia, KP the thank. RJ's on the email, taking fools to college. Joey, Matt, Timo, Robin, let's acknowledge. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? In the garden, fighting for a quiet spot. Jack's taking notes while the crowd gets hot. Irate, insightful, not a diplomat. Sam's got a long list and it's just for rats. Rat list your Wi-Fi, rat list your dog. Rat list Bronny, rat list LeBron. Rat list the traffic, rat list the song. Rat list that's getting too long. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? Might think they're chill, but don't get it twisted. They're not just hustling, they're highly gifted. Still new to the scene and making their mark. It's a humble beginning, it's a hero's arc. Sam's keeping it real with the Starkey vibe, but he's all in with Jack when it's time to ride. Your ass hat in the chat, Jack says don't come back. He's got zero patience for nonsense attacks. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Jack and Sam talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here?
Whoa, we made it. Happy Saturday night. Celtics Rockets, 8 p.m. tip at TD Garden. Looking to make it 4 in a row, which I don't really know if any of us expected after the 0-3 start, but here we are. Jack and I are joined by Celtics blog and SB Nation's Oliver Fox. Oliver, hello.
Nice to be here. Yeah, I certainly did not expect 3 in a row after the first 3 losses. I mean, I was ready to open up a can of panic after those first 3. I thought we were terrible. Like, I thought the team was such a disaster, and then they just started winning. So I don't know. I don't really know what to make of it these days. I mean, if we beat the Rockets, the Rockets are a team that I really respect. So we shall see if my notions from earlier this season were really that wrong.
Yes, sir. I'm excited, man. I mean, Sam will tell you even after the 3 losses, and I said it after the first game, like they just looked like they were playing better than the results of what was on the court, and I've been impressed. I think they're going to be a good team. I never strayed away from. I think they can win 45 games. This is going to be a tough one in particular. Rockets are a really good rebounding team. I mean, they play Steven Adams and Şengün a lot, sometimes even together. It's going to be tough on the glass, but Minot and Keita have done a great job sort of just trying to mitigate that a little bit. So their biggest test yet, in my opinion, even with the Cleveland game, I thought that was going to be a big test, and they stormed through it. But the rebounding in this one in particular, I think is going to be tough for them to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, watching the fellas battle with Steven Adams and Alperen Şengün is going to be quite the spectacle here at TD Garden. I hope that they can compete tonight. That's like my big goal. I just want to see a good game. Don't want them to get stomped out after a good start. I believe in these guys. I think they can play well. I think they've shown that they're willing to fight. And Houston will be another good test. Like, Houston is 2-2 to start the season. They're not perfect by any means. They've lost some tough games. Boston has potential to compete in this game, but the glass, the Achilles heel of this team, no pun intended, is going to be a real prominent issue throughout the night.
Gosh, Achilles puns. I didn't know what I was pulling up to. Yeah,
I just don't know what else to say in that situation, so I just keep saying it.
I honestly think this team is like the weakness of rebounding was so glaring in the first three games, and I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so I do have some questions that I've actually brought to the pregame show today to ask you guys. But like this is like, they started the tallest lineup in NBA history in game 1, right? And then we're coming out here relying on like 12 boards from Josh Minot. Like, it's it's going to be an adventure to get possessions in this game. And if we can stay within like 5 to 10, like I don't think we're going to win the rebounding battle. If we can stay within 5 to 10 on the glass, I mean, that's your argument. That's how it's going to work. It's not going to work any other way.
They need to shoot well. They need Derek White and Peyton Pritchard to wake up. They need to crash the glass themselves on the offensive end. Like, I think as important as defensive rebounding is going to be, I think they can mitigate some of that by getting extra possessions for themselves. And I do think they could do that with how, honestly, offensive rebounding, in my opinion, and I don't know, I don't really research, and I don't even know how I would research it. It feels like more luck than ever with the number of threes, with how many guys are crashing, with how awkward the ball can bounce because people are shooting from all different spots on the floor. Like, a lot of that goes into it is being prepared to like control the luck. Like you just kind of have to accept that that's going to be a factor of doing everything in your power to, give yourself as much of a chance as possible. And so I think that the Celtics continue to be chaotic on that end with their offensive rebounding, with, they want to play on offense while also just making sure to get, body to whatever rocket is crashing. They can sort of control it as best as possible, but they need their offense to click in a game like this against a team that will probably be one of the best defenses in the NBA this season.
I know we're doing a pregame show, so we can obviously talk specifics like this, but I do have to ask you.
Yeah, they're going to need something.
Sam's probably lagging here.
Oh, I made it back.
Oh, okay. I was
Yep, it's definitely on my end.
Sorry. Go ahead, Oliver. You're good.
No, I was going to ask this because I haven't talked to you guys in a hot minute, and I just wanted to know, like, what do you guys even want out of this season? Because I was thinking earlier today, like that was the one thing I prepared for this, was I was trying to get a coherent answer to that question, because all sorts of people have been asking me that, like what is success? What do you define as success in the season? Like, what do you guys have? What are you feeling?
I know a lot of people will say like a high draft pick. I think if they can be competitive, make the playoffs, get some experience, I not only think it'll be valuable to, just the product and Joe Mazzulla as head coach and everybody. Think about how much experience Peyton Pritchard will get facing extra competition, how much experience Derek White will get, how much they'll get to take a look at what Josh Minot, Nimish Queta, all these role players look like in roles they probably won't have to play and can do more than they'll probably be asked to when Jason Tatum does come back. So I think it's a mix of how good Joe can be as a coach, getting extra experience for their main players, and finding out what role players fit for the Jason Tatum Celtics when he comes back and is healthy. And I think if they can do those while also playing winning basketball, this is going to be a successful season.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat kind of hitting on what I think, which is I want like two guys to emerge this season as people we can play next year. And if we can get two people, just like it could be Minot, it could be Hugo, it could be even Queta. I don't think Queta has proven himself yet. I know there's a lot of buzz coming out of this offseason, but I mean Queta's got a lot to prove in this league. If we can get two guys that come out of this season and next year we actually feel good about them in a rotation, then I would sort of feel like this team would have a new direction. Right now it's sort of like it's really water tready-ish, and I have liked seeing the scoring output out of Jalen. I mean, I've been impressed by that. He's been proving that he is an elite scorer in this league, which is sometimes lost on people. I do want to say, maybe your viewers and listeners aren't aware of this, but I did write something last spring about how we probably should trade Jalen, and I was in on that a while ago. I'm off that now. I'm way off that take because I've seen the level of talent in the NBA, and I think when Tatum comes back, we need to actually have good players on the roster, and I kind of thought that like the rebuild needed to like get hit really hard. Now I just think like if we trade Jalen, or if we trade D White, which I saw floated around, like D White to the Rockets was an option after Van Vliet. I mean, total Godfather offer. I don't think the Celtics would ever do that, but I don't think we can trade either of these guys anymore because our roster is so thin talent-wise that you need to have quality basketball players on the team when Tatum comes back. That's sort of where I'm at. So just finding more of those guys by the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I'm back. I made it. Hooray. Yeah, any way that you can come away with an extra guy that you feel great about going into next season is a win so far it feels like it's been Minot. It feels like Ugo's been a guy too. People that you can get excited about having around that are going to play hard. They're going to do the right things required to win basketball games down the line. I also do think I don't know where I stand, right? Like I don't know if I want to watch them tank or not. I feel like they've given a lot of life in these last 3 games. It's kind of flipped the script on that. I was ready to get my tank, put my helmet on, and ride until the draft. But now I'm getting excited again. Like I was pumped up yesterday after they beat the Sixers. I was like, this is an awesome win. The first 18 minutes of that game were euphoric. And it's like, yeah, okay, I see the vision. This is what this team can be capable of. And from all we know at this point, Philly's a halfway decent team. Like to put that kind of beating on them early and to play that prolific, there is something within this team that really, really works well. And I think that would be premature to give up on it right now. I think if injuries start to pile up or something like that, you can pull the plug, emergency, exit, eject, whatever the button you want to hit is, that's fine. But for now, I think your best interest is to play through the season and just try and make guys comfortable in big moments. Like somebody like Josh Minot would really benefit from getting extra reps in important games, important minutes. Like even last night, seeing him miss the 2 free throws at the end, you miss free throws, But I feel like being prepared for the moment may suit him a little bit better down the line, where if he's met with that again, he might be ready.
I will say, regarding the, should they trade Jalen? Should they trade Derek White? I said this from then, like I never thought they should. The only reason you would trade one of them is so you can draft somebody that you hope turns into somebody that's as good as one of them, which just like that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't really happen.
If you look at the last, I don't even know how many years you'd have to go back. When's the last time that a rookie was a top, 5 piece on a championship team? Ever? Like Magic Johnson? Like when is the last time that happened? Because if you traded Jaylen Brown or Derek White for a chance to get a top pick, which in theory is probably what you'd end up doing because you would want to rebuild if you trade one of those guys, then Jason Tatum's going to come back and want to win. And you're going to need that rookie to help him do that in the same capacity that Jalen or Derek is, which is a top 5 player on a title team. It doesn't make any sense. And I get the people's desire not to quote unquote waste a season, but your star player towards Achilles, like it doesn't mean you blow up the franchise because he's going to have to miss a year. It sucks, right? But look at the Warriors. The Warriors had devastation, blew it up for a season, and got James Wiseman. Can you imagine the scenes?
That's the terrifying reality. I remember. I think there's a lot of parallels between that Warriors season and our current season, where it's like Steph got hurt, and the reality is you're not going anywhere. So they tried to do this sort of 2 eras at once thing, and I mean they could have had like I think nowadays it feels really obvious that like Wiseman was 3rd and LaMelo was 2nd, and then or did they pick Wiseman 2nd?
They picked Wiseman over LaMelo.
Oh yeah, sorry. But Anthony Edwards was not like the slam dunk number 1 pick. It was like pretty even between those 3 guys in the pre-draft process. So like there's a world where the Warriors draft Anthony Edwards in that draft, and like that would be the worst thing ever. I mean, we'd be dealing with Warriors for the next 15 years, but I don't know. I think I was never really in on the tanking argument, not because I didn't want to do it, because like I'm always down. I think tanking is a viable strategy in sports that have a salary cap. I think it's sort of a necessary strategy especially in football. I always think tanking is important to have because you have to make sure teams that don't have a starting quarterback are given an opportunity to get a starting quarterback if they have a terrible one. But I just don't think Missoula is going to allow that to happen. And I think that this is a bunch of really serious basketball players, and they're not going to just sit around being bad and being okay with that. I think that kind of stuff destroys the essence and the sort of identity of teams. I mean, you saw the 76ers do it for like 4 consecutive years, and everyone who was around during that time has a really screwed up career. I mean, I think it's really messed with Embiid's whole outlook on his career and on basketball is how much they were tanking during his early career. So I don't really want to mess with the Celtics' outlook by not trying to win. I think that would be bad.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it get to them on the last possession the other day. the tanking stink is still over the Sixers,
That was a
and they
possession
couldn't even
we
get a
would
good
have.
look off. It was brutal.
We would totally
Yeah.
have had that possession.
Yeah.
That's like our kind of vibe.
I couldn't believe how fortunate they got. It was like they did everything they could to lose that game, and somehow Philly would not oblige. They give the ball to Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes goes, watch this, realizes he's out of time, and then throws it to Embiid too late. It was just a remarkable storm of complete bullshit for Philly, and it worked out for all of us up here in the lovely Northeast.
Well, Sam, you used to bang the
we do have
drum
the
about
starters.
you used to bang the drum
Go
about
ahead.
our horrible 2-for-1 plays. You were always just saying like, "These are the worst 2-for-1s you've ever seen in your life." That like those are the kinds of
It was
plays
true.
we were putting together. It was true. Kind of still is true to some extent.
They got it 2-for-1, and they got none of them. They went neither on the
It
2
went
for
0 for
1.
2.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about the rebounding. We had the starters. Jack put them on the screen. Just for perspective, Houston's starters are Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, Josh Okogie, and Alperen Sengun. Jack, personally, how do you feel like the matchups are going to go tonight?
If I had to guess, I think Minot covers Durant. Unless this is one of those matchups where it is Jalen says, I want to do it, which I wouldn't put past him. Because every once in a while, I feel like you get the Jalen, I want to be the number one defensive option, which that's not me saying I don't think it'd be good. Like, I think it's fine. And they can put, Minot on, like... Okay, I think what should happen and what, like, based on what we've seen, should be Minot on Durant, Jalen on Amen Thompson, Derek on Jabari Smith, Peyton on Okogie, and then just Nimi on Sengun. Something interesting
is going to drive me insane.
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad,
really
just
bad.
like it was against Embiid. But then I think this is where Tillman comes in again, because Tillman was great against Embiid, and I think he could at least try to body him a little bit. What I think could be interesting is if you do – this is where it gets tough because the Celtics are running two guards. If you do Jalen on Durant or Derek on Durant, one of those two, you put Pritchard on Amen Thompson and just play really far off him and try to use your body against him. Then Nimi on Sengun and the other one of Jalen or Derek on Smith. You could run Minot on Okogie and play him in the we're not going to guard him role of just like running around, creating chaos, double teaming, helping at the rim, a la Robert Williams and Kristaps Porzingis. Like maybe that could be an interesting defensive look. It's going to be tough with the size. I think the key to this defense tonight is going to be Jesus Christ, scramble around so nobody can score unless it's Josh Okogie.
Well, what is Pritchard going to do on defense tonight? Like, legitimately, where is he going to go?
I think he has to guard Amen Thompson.
And that's going to go how?
He's going to try his best.
What do you guys make of his shooting to start this season? Because I saw that stat this morning that he's last in the league.
Frankly, I'm so sick of him and Derek White missing open shots. It's killing me.
I really just think
if you were like talk about the Celtics, go ahead, because I'm clearly not connected.
I think it's really just a bad slump. It's a really unfortunate time and a long slump, but I'm more concerned about Derek White than Peyton Pritchard, and that doesn't even seem like a fair word. Like, I think Derek White will figure it out. I'm not concerned about either of them. But, like, Peyton Pritchard's shooting terrible and still is been the second best player on the Celtics team this season. Like, he is an incredible playmaker. He is their best offensive initiator, in my opinion, in terms of playmaking. I think he's held up on defense. I think he's been great getting to that mid-range spot. He's very efficient from two-point range. I really just think it is they're in the worst slump of their careers at the worst possible time.
I honestly, I was actually at the first game of the season against the Sixers, and Pritchard hit that's the only game I've been to this season. I mean, there's only been 6 of them, so that kind of makes sense. But like, Pritchard took the last shot in that game, and we had a chance to win the game. I mean, it was there, and a lot of people like in my section and the people I came with were all mad that Jalen or Derek didn't take that shot. I was fine with Pritchard taking the final shot.
I think the play was for Jalen, for what it's worth.
Yeah, it definitely
Pritchard
was.
After the game said the play was for Jalen.
They denied ball to Jalen really well, but I really didn't mind the ball finding Pritchard there. I'm confident in Pritchard's ability to put the ball in the hoop. My criticisms of Pritchard, which I've documented over the years writing about him, is that like most of the time he's sort of a glorified 3-point specialist. And then last year he added a lot to his game and forced me to reconsider. But in every year beforehand, he had good handles, but really most of his points were coming from 3. Last year he added a lot, and I really respected that out of him. So I was excited this season to see what he would do in a more prominent role. I think the thing is trying to mitigate his defensive limitations and really just his size is one of the big challenges of playing really good teams like the Rockets, but also like just teams with big guards like the Thunder and Shea. Like I don't know what's going to go on with that, and thankfully they're not in this conference. I mean, neither are the Rockets, but it's tough. I mean, Pritchard tries defensively, and defense is like 60% effort, which is good, but I'm still very dubious. We'll see how this game goes. I mean, I'm kind of like morbidly interested in seeing what's going to go on here defensively for the Celtics because Nimi on Şengün on paper is like a 95% to 5 matchup in favor of Şengün, but I don't know. I mean, Nimi might get lucky, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I was so impressed with Pritchard yesterday, and really throughout the season, I think he's just done a really great job of setting everyone up. I think the progression we've seen with him being a reliable shot maker from within the arc is so important. You kind of alluded to it where, like, is he just a glorified three-point shooter? I don't think so anymore. Like, we are really seeing him progress and step into this role really well, and it's just so ironic that the three-point shooting is the only thing that he has not managed to bring with him somehow. And once that comes along, we might be talking about like a significant lead for him. Like, had Peyton Pritchard shot, well, let's say he even slightly regressed from three. Like, let's say he's shooting like 38% compared to like 43 or whatever he's been shooting for the last couple of years. We'd be like, holy shit, this guy's incredible. Celtics probably be at least 4-2 at this point if he makes, 20% more of his threes than he's been making. The growth would be unreal. We'd be talking about that as well as the playmaking, and the Celtics would be rolling to it's like we'd go in tonight and be like, is this a clash of the Titans?
Yeah, what do you guys think about Simons? Where does he fit for us? I mean, because in theory, he's probably
catch and shoot. He's glorified three-point guy. Exactly what you said.
I need more out of him from a sort of I'm not relying on him for any defensive anything. I understand that's his big deficiency. That's why he's here. That's why Portland didn't want him. I'm relying on him to be our third or fourth best shot creator, depending on the night. I mean, he has to create his own offense. He's the only guy outside of the three we retained from last year who can actually do that. So I haven't really seen it much. I mean, the win over the Pelicans, he was big, but other than that, hasn't been a whole lot. What do you think, Jack?
If you're looking for him to be I think he's been really bad at creating his own offense. That's what I think. I think he has been a great fit when he has been catch and shoot, coming off screens, that type of guy. When he has, when it's Anthony Simons time, it shouldn't be Anthony Simons time. Like that's unfortunately what I've seen. And that's not great. That's not what you want. The defense has been better than I thought, to his credit. I do think this new defensive system the Celtics are playing has suited him because it's a lot more effort-based, and I do think he is trying, so I'll give him that credit. It's just whenever the ball is in his hands and it's not coming off a screen, it's not catch and shoot, it looks like, Anthony Simons just going to dribble into oblivion and then chuck up a shot. That's probably not what the Celtics want to do. So I think he's a great fit. I think he's going to win them basketball games this season just based off of his catch and shoot shooting, his ability to come off screens. He's an elite three-point shooter. That much is like so obvious. It's just he doesn't give them a lot when he's not doing that. And if that's the case, and if that's what's going to happen, then the Celtics are going to be in a bit of a rough spot because, well, they kind of, like you said, they need him to do that, especially if Derek White and Peyton Pritchard are shooting as they are. Somebody asked in the thing about Nemi Keita's stats against Eurobasket. I'm checking right now, but I'm just letting you know I'm on that. Against Şengün, I should say.
We're monitoring it. With Simons, I think there is potential that he gets more comfortable, like running offense for this Celtics team. But to Jack's point, like so far, it's been brutal. Like he was really great through part of that Sixers game last night, and then he was the complete opposite in the second half. He was a big part of why Philly got back into the game, why they were able to tie the game. He was kind of forcing it when he didn't really have the looks, he didn't have the angles, he didn't have the shot going in, and he was like electing to keep the ball and try again. rather than maybe hitting the second option on the pick and pop like Garza made a three. He's been shooting the three well over the last couple of games. And instead of giving him the ball when two defenders kind of commit to Simons, he just kind of goes, watch this, I'm going to shoot it anyways. And it results in ugly possessions. Jack nailed it on the head. You know it's just that possession, chalk it up, Anthony's going to do what he wants, and that's what it's going to be. I think getting past that, making it feel more fluid is going to be a big step in growth for him here.
Do you guys want another big? I know this is like kind of like it's kind of a fundamental question of the season. Like, should we even add anything? Should we be worrying about that? Like, with Tatum out, is there any point to any of this? But like, do you guys want to add a bigger body to play in the front court? Because I just don't think this is going to be sustainable over the course of the season. I think Garza is terrible. I mean, I've watched him I watched him in college.
Really?
I'm never going to believe.
I think he's been pretty good.
I understand that there's been flashes in this season, but I kind of like fundamentally disagree with Luka Garza as a professional basketball player. Like, he was great in college, and what he was great at was all of the things that do not work in the NBA. And that's been true in his whole NBA career. I mean, he's so slow. His foot speed is so ridiculously slow. And it's just going to be really, really hard to keep him on the floor. So I don't know, but I think the question more is like, do you guys want the Celtics to even add or subtract anything at the deadline? Is this just like a fully stand cap season, or is there something?
I think if the right, like,
you see how far this roster takes you.
Yeah, I think sort of like when you added Tillman and Springer, like if you find one of those guys on like a 1-year deal that like maybe you take a chance on if the right trade comes, like maybe you do that. But by and large, I think it's just going to be like, go for it. For context, this is how Mishkita fared at Eurobasket against Alperen Şengün. Those are their two stat lines listed side by side. Şengün did a pretty good job against Mishkita. So
what is
certainly
that
something to keep an eye out for.
3-point percentage?
Twos.
I was going to say.
Twos.
Like,
He took
good
11
God.
twos. Yeah. 11 twos, and he just it's awesome. But we'll see. We'll see if he can improve on that. I don't think they trade for a big at the deadline. I think the only way they trade for a big at the deadline is if it is an Anthony Simons trade and they just so happen to get a big back in the deal that is saving them some money. Or they see somebody they really like in the G League who they like give a two-way spot and upgrade one of the other guys or cut one of the other guys. Or it's not going to be anything crazy, but I do think that they'll look for potential things that could help them.
Yeah, I think like for me, I'm almost like tempted to say yes, just because like if one injury to a big / really to anyone makes this team, it gets spooky real fast. And so I don't know. I'm like not super hopeful. I think this team's limit is probably like a 7 seed. But maybe you can win a play-in game. That's fine with me. But like I kind of am interested to see, because I know we're running out of time, but like I'm interested to see what this really, it's Minot and Hugo Gonzalez who I'm interested in seeing. I'm not into Garza. I'm still really, it's going to take a lot to get me on the Queta bandwagon, because I've watched years of Queta and I just don't know if someone who not just can't shoot, but won't shoot, and can be completely ignored on the offensive end, save for rim running and sort of, save for rim running and like dunks. He's kind of like Jackson Hayes-esque, one of my least favorite players in the National Basketball Association. So we shall see what this team turns into.
Yeah, I think like this 6-game sample size might be the perfect encapsulation of like what we might want to expect from the season, right? Like
average.
It's like, oh man, they've been really, really bad, but oh, they're really, really fun these games. Like I think there might be a lot of roller coaster stuff in this season, and that might just be what it is. But for now, like I'm feeling good. Maybe in 2 hours, 3 hours, I'll be feeling not so good. But for now, I'm happy with what we saw yesterday. Happy about the week, and pretty impressed. Any final thoughts, guys, before we wrap it up here?
That's all I got.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It was nice to be here, if only for such a short time.
Oh yeah.
I was happy to join.
We'll have you back. We'll have you back this season. We'll be rotating guests in and out every pregame. It's been a lot of fun having our guests. So everyone make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and Jack and I will be here in the morning. You can catch Oliver's work on Celtics blog and SB Nation. Doing a ton of writing over there. So be on
Mostly on
SB
SB Nation. These days.
Mostly on SB Nation. Big flex. Very good. All right, everyone, bye.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your